Hey, what's up with you again, YouTube? This is Katie Talk One on One. I'm Katie and I'm talking. And I am talking about some news today that has come out of Tampa, Florida. Miss Mallory, age 22, when she got pregnant by an 11-year-old boy who she was a sit in nanny for. And the boy parents trusted her enough to actually be a live in nanny. So she stayed with them. And while they were at work, she began to seduce this young boy and eventually got pregnant by him, 11 years old. And she was 22. So my thought is, would you been a 22-year-old woman, what is it that 11-year-old boy can do for you, a 22-year-old woman? You can find a guy your age. I'm like, some of these kids out here, I know DHS say kids need to be 11 or 12 years old before they can stay at home and watch themselves, but some of these children are way more safe being at home by themselves, watching themselves. These babysitters, I'm hearing story time and time and time again, and the plot gets thicker with this story. Take a listen, and this is fair use, and this is Fox 13 News coming from out of Tampa, Florida. Take a listen, listen. A woman. Fox 13's Gloria Gomez reports as Marissa Mowry sits in jail on child sex charges, her family keeps growing. Marissa Mowry is the live-in nanny who's accused of having sex with an 11-year-old boy who got her pregnant. That sweet boy is now being cared for by the young victim and his mother, who we will call Mary. She says Mowry was the family's nanny for years, who she trusted with her kids. They don't tell you to watch for, the nanny who's going to mess with your son. Mary says when Mowry got pregnant, she said the father was an ex-boyfriend, and she had no reason to doubt it. Mary and her kids were supportive until the day her son spilled his little secret. It's the worst thing a parent could ever go through, besides the loss of, the death of a child. The child who my son should have been, he'll never be. Your Honor, Philip Colasanti for Marissa Mowry. Today, Mowry was back in court, and as you can see, is pregnant again. Sources say the father is a current boyfriend who's standing by her side despite her troubles. Pregnant again. 3-year-old has another sibling. Court records show Mowry also has another child that was fathered by a 16-year-old boy. And here comes another twist in the case. That 16-year-old is related by marriage to Mary and her 11-year-old son. Wow. She manipulated him mentally, physically, and sexually. Now it looks like those two children and a third one on the way may never grow up knowing their mother. Gloria Gomez, Fox 13 News. Mowry is back in court in November. And that's not it. This is the original that in fact, from when she ended up first going to jail. Take a listen to this. Mowry. She was a 22-year-old nanny when she got pregnant, and detectives say the father of her child was only 11 years old. Well, 3 years later, tonight, Mowry's facing charges, and the victim's mom is talking about her heartbreak. Gloria Gomez spoke to the boy's mother today. Gloria, I can only imagine. First, the boy. How is he? It's been tough for him. Keep in mind that the mother tells me that, in fact, what has happened to him has really affected the entire family. She says, but they will get through it. The one person I trusted failed epically. That one person is Marissa Mowry. She's now sitting in jail, facing 15 counts of sexual battery. This mother, who we will call Anne, says Mowry was the family's live-in nanny for years. Detectives say she molested Anne's 11-year-old son, and he got her pregnant. I was always watching when I was home. Because when I was at work, I couldn't. And that's when Mowry, detectives say, molested the boy. When she got pregnant, she said the father was an ex-boyfriend and never questioned it. How could I have been so stupid? You blame yourself? I do. I do. And it
I shouldn't, but I do. Why? There should have been something I could have caught. I should have caught something.
It wasn't until this year that her son spilled his secret.
Just being a teenager is
You
hard
couldn't
enough.
hold it in.
And you're going to throw in molestation, which messes with their heads bad. And then you're going to throw in being a parent. That's a lot. It's a lot.
Anne is now raising her now 15-year-old son and his nearly 3-year-old child. She knows this sweet little boy will likely grow up without his mother and says that's the way it has to be.
Oh, very sad situation. It is so crazy, Candy. So, so crazy. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Miss Mallory, you need to have your uterus ripped the fuck out. Miss Mallory, you are over here and these people trust you with their child and you violate an 11-year-old. You 22 goddamn years old. You can find no other dicks, no other penises around but an 11-year-old penis. Whew. I cannot imagine it. That's why I always say, watch who you trust your children around. Watch who you trust your children around. And they always put males in the box of being that predator, but there's plenty of women predators out here too. Trust and believe me. I remember just last week after my youngest son, my 11-year-old, had an appointment. I was checking him back into school, and there was another lady. I think she was probably coming to check somebody out. I don't know, but the lady, she looked like she was an upper age lady. She was actually older than me. She was probably late 40s, maybe early 50s, and she was like, "Oh, how old is your son?" And I was like, "He's 11." She looking down at his feet, looked like she was sizing him up, looking like she was looking at him like he was a grown ass man. So yes, it's a lot of sick ass bitches out here too, but nobody talking about the women predators out here. Nobody talking about them women predators, but it's so many of them. A lot of times, if people are going through divorces, they some guys. Don't get me wrong, it is kids out here being touched, but a lot of guys that go through a lot of divorces and breakups, a lot of them get accused of messing with kids and some of them didn't even do it like it. But a lot of people don't talk about the women that are doing it. I don't care who it is, whether it's male or female. Don't be so open-hearted to trust any and everybody with your children. And I can imagine the guilt that's on that mother's mind and heart. She got to raise her grandchild, her 11-year-old. I mean, do you realize how hard this boy life is gonna be? He became a father at the age of 11. When I was 11, I think I was probably in the 6th grade, and you had to become a dad. That woman was around there seducing your son when he was 11 years old, and she fucking 22. Shame on you, Mallory. Shame on you. And then, lo and behold, wow, we look up and the plot thickens. And I'm thinking, how the fuck did you get pregnant and you in prison anyway? I just don't get this. How did you get pregnant again, Mallory? Someone need to rip your uterus the fuck out. And I'm hoping when I post this to YouTube, I hope they don't flag me for saying this, but it's the truth. Shame on you. Oh my God. And like this boy, he's gonna grow up without a mother. He don't need to know a woman like that. I'm all for parents being in their children's life. But this Mallory, this chick, she don't need to be in that boy life. And I think they gave her like 20 years, but since she has a vagina, I'm sure she'll probably be out maybe in about 5, and she'll probably end up getting the rest probation. I think they probably end up giving her the rest probation. Yes, you bind that spirit. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss Stewart. Because that spirit is so high out here these days. And don't you know, I've been reading up on I think her name was Malaysia, the Malaysia story. I said I want to do that story, but just going through all of the breakdown with the Cupcake Malaysia, that story just reading through that kind of brought my spirit down. So I got to get real, real strong and built up, and hopefully I can get my sister in, a close friend in, and help me do this video because this really needs to be talked about the attack on children, about everything that they go through. And like I said before in one of my other videos, you've heard in the past, black women are the most disrespected and unprotected. No, it is children who are the most disrespected and unprotected. And it's up to the adults to protect them. And when it comes to the situation with the boy that end up getting pregnant by his nanny, like his parents never expected that they had a predator in their home. For you to have a predator around your child and you later find out this woman got pregnant by him, and then we look up, okay, she's done I think a couple of years in prison, so I'm thinking she's maybe about 24, maybe going on 25, and bam, you pregnant by a 16-year-old now. So the sickness continues. You just a sick bitch, Mallory. And I'm going to say it again. You need to have your uterus ripped out. I'm sorry. It's the truth. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. And my heart goes out to that boy family. My heart goes out to that child because the child will probably never know his mother. When he grows up and hears a story about how he got here, it don't matter how you got here, baby. God got you here now and just put it in his hands. But it's a sad, sad situation. And my heart go out to all of them. Keep a close eye on your children. Pay close attention to them. Pay close, close, close attention to them. You know your child and you know when something is not right with them. Talk to your child. If you notice something, talk to them. Don't overlook a lot of things. Ask questions. Ask questions. I think after so long, the boy who ended up getting the nanny pregnant, he just came out and told the parents what happened and what she's been doing to him. That she has sexually molested him over 14 times since he was at the age of 11, and they was actually thinking that she was pregnant like by an ex-boyfriend or something like that, which was not the case. But I wish that baby and I wish that boy family the best. And I really commend that mother for not slapping the hell out of her, pistol whipping her, or doing something bad to her, because I don't play about my children. And it's a sad situation. But thank you all for tuning in. And I hope you all on Facebook go to Katie Space Talk 101. That's all together on YouTube. Check out this video, like, share, and hit that notification bell and subscribe. And stay tuned because I have much more coming. I'm about to charge my phone up for a little bit. And I'm going to come back and talk about Van being let go from TMZ. After all this hard work he put in, they fired him over a petty, petty argument over politics. But the other employee got to stay. So isn't that something? So I'm going to charge this phone up a little bit. Sit back and sip on my wine, and I'm going to come back in maybe about a good 30 to 40 minutes. So if you're still up, stay tuned. Love you, Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. And thank you, YouTube, for tuning in to Katie Talk 101. If you have any video, if you have any video ideas, or you got any advice or anything like that, You can email me, and it's about change, ABOUT change 34 at gmail.com. Make sure you hit that like bell, hit the like button, the notification bell, subscribe, and stay tuned because I will be coming back with much more. Katie Talk 101. I'm Katie and I'm talking. Love you, YouTube, and I will see you soon.